Okay, let's dive right into this explainer. Today, we're unpacking one of the most fascinating and honestly kind of haunting thought experiments in modern lore. It's a phenomenon that completely challenges how we view our own pasts. Imagine for a second that you're just walking down a quiet street, or maybe standing in an empty field, and suddenly you see a solitary wooden door. No walls around it, no building attached, literally no logical explanation for why it is there. It just stands alone, waiting. But here's the thing, it doesn't wait for just anyone.
I want you to take a second right now and hold your absolute greatest regret in your mind. Come on, we all have one, right? That one major fork in the road where you went left, but some small part of you always wonders what would have happened if you had just gone right. Well, according to the lore, if you happen to be the person carrying the absolute heaviest regret in the world, at a very specific moment, this mysterious wooden door appears to you. And notice, it has no handle on the outside. It only opens when you silently ask yourself one simple question. What if I had made a different choice?
Section 1. The Midnight Phenomenon.
So you definitely can't map this thing or track it with GPS. The accounts actually state it appears in a completely different place somewhere in the world every single night. Doesn't matter if you're in a crowded city square that happens to be deserted for the night or out in a desolate desert. The door finds the person it's looking for. It's this standalone gateway that completely defies physical architecture. But there's a massive catch. The door appears at exactly 12 a.m., and by 12:01 a.m., it vanishes without a single trace. That gives the chosen person exactly 1 minute. Just 60 seconds to confront their deepest regret, ask the question, and decide if they actually have the courage to step through. It is a fleeting, intensely pressurized moment.
Section 2. Rules of the Door.
Now, this isn't just some chaotic free-for-all. It operates under a very strict set of parameters that frame this whole thought experiment. We know it appears at exactly midnight, and it's solely visible to the person with the most profound regret. But the absolute most critical rule is this: the visitor cannot change history. When you step through, you are not time traveling. You're entering an alternate reality where that one specific decision in your past was different. You can touch objects, you can speak with people, and you actually experience years of this alternate life. But in the real world, only a few minutes pass. You are strictly a visitor. And finally, if you come back, the door will never, ever appear to you again. You only get one look.
It is absolutely fascinating to contrast the lives people actually have with the alternate realities they witness. Because let's be honest, we humans are world champions at romanticizing the one path we didn't take. Imagine a student who dropped out of school. They step through the door and suddenly they're living the life they might have had if they had just stayed. They get to see the career, the stability, maybe a totally different circle of friends. Or think about a business owner who constantly chose money over family. Through the door, they get to watch a future where they attended every single birthday and graduation instead of every boardroom meeting. They literally get to live out the ultimate what if.
And we can push this dramatic juxtaposition even further. Consider a doctor who, out of sheer exhaustion, ended up ignoring a patient. That choice haunts them every single day. Well, through the door, that doctor witnesses the entire life that patient went on to live in another timeline. They see the milestones, the joy, the continuation of a life that was cut short in their own reality. It's this profound emotional mirror showing the direct consequences of our actions.
Section 3. Elias's alternate reality.
To really ground this abstract concept, let's look at a specific case study. An older man named Elias. He encounters the door in the middle of a totally empty train station. Now, Elias is interesting because he's lived a long life and actually believes he doesn't have any regrets left. But curiosity wins out, and he steps through. Inside the door, Elias sees himself as a young man. In year 1, instead of staying home to care for his sick father, which is what he actually did in reality, his alternate self accepts a prestigious overseas scholarship. Fast forward to year 10, and he's become a world-famous scientist. His discoveries are saving millions of lives. His name is literally in the history books. By year 30, he receives a major, highly coveted award. It's a dramatic, skyrocketing rise to scientific fame. But then we hit year 40. He returns to his beautiful, pristine home, and the sudden, devastating drop occurs. He realizes the ultimate cost of this alternate path.
Section 4. The true cost. Because the whole purpose of the door, as Elias discovers, isn't to rewrite history. It's to reveal the psychological aftermath and the illusion of perfect success. Sure, Elias achieved everything he ever dreamed of professionally, but look at what's actually missing in this alternate reality. In his beautiful home, there are no family photographs anywhere. There's absolutely no laughter echoing in the halls, no children running around, and, Most devastatingly, because he left, his father died alone. His younger sister, who completely relied on his support in the real world, never finished school in this timeline. The massive success he dreamed of came at a catastrophic, personal price he hadn't even imagined.
As Elias's vision of this alternate life starts to fade, the mysterious voice behind the door speaks for the very first and only time. Every choice opens one door and quietly closes another.
Section 5. The Ultimate Lesson.
So Elias steps back out of the door and returns to the real world. The train station is empty again, and just as the rules dictate, the door is gone forever. But instead of mourning that glamorous scientific life he never got to live, Elias just walks home. He spends the rest of his years deeply appreciating the people who are still beside him. He realizes his original choice was actually the right one for him. Over the years, stories of this door have spread all across the world. Thousands of people claim to have seen it, and their journeys all follow a very distinct psychological path. Step 1. They begin obsessing over a deep regret. Step 2. They're granted the chance to observe that alternate reality. And Step 3. They experience a profound realization about the inherent sacrifices of that alternate path. While some do return heartbroken, and a few even become obsessed with trying to find the door again, the ultimate takeaway remains incredibly consistent.
And that brings us to the core philosophical lesson of this whole explainer. The greatest prison is not the past, it is believing that another life would have been perfect. Every single path, no matter how shiny or incredibly successful it looks in our imaginations, carries its own unavoidable sacrifices. You can't have the overseas scholarship without leaving the family behind. You simply cannot have one reality without sacrificing another.
The mystery of the door remains completely unsolved. No one knows who created it or why it specifically targets the heaviest hearts. But the legend insists that tonight, at exactly midnight, it will appear somewhere in the world. So I'll leave you with this final thought to ponder. If you were standing in an empty room tonight at 12 a.m. and that wooden door appeared right before you, what would you choose to see? And more importantly, are you really prepared for what it would cost?